From the Kodak Theater at Hollywood and Highland, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences invites you to enjoy its 77th Annual Academy Awards. The 77th Annual Academy Awards on ABC, brought to you by Pepsi, It's the Cola, American Express, My Life, My Card, J.C. Penney, for all the sides of you, it's all inside J.C. Penney. And the Cadillac V-Series, 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds.
Since movies began, we've been under their spell. They could touch us, make us think, make us nervous, make us feel terrific. For over 100 years, movies have found ways to take us in any direction we desire. Some directions few of us even dream of. Today's movies look and sound brand new, but they're really tied to the past. We still have stories about family and kids, but sometimes they're a little different.
I see dead people.
And we'll always have heroes, except some are, you know, different now.
What's your reason for seeing Roger Smith?
You're making a film.
We still root for the underdog, cheer for the rebel.
Hey, I'm walking here!
Laugh at the clown. And love lovers. Just like always. They're all just a little different. Good movies stay with us no matter what century we're in. There's something about them, and we don't know exactly what it is, that's timeless. They tell us where we came from and where we're going. Tonight, just like the Academy Awards themselves, is about the future and the past, and how they come together in so many remarkable and unexpected ways.
Now, please welcome our host for this evening, Chris Rock.
Thank you. 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 All right. All right. Hey. Okay. Okay. Sit your asses down. All right. Welcome to the 77th and last Academy Awards. It's a great night tonight. We have like 4 black nominees tonight. So great. It's kind of like the Deaf Oscar Jam tonight. Now, remember when you were a kid and every movie was incredible? Every movie was magic? oh, they were all great. Then you grow up and you watch some of those same movies and you're like, Rocky 5 sucks. Now, I love the Oscars. You know why I love the Oscars? Because the Oscars are the only show, the only award show where the people getting awards don't perform. That's right, there's no acting at the Oscars. None at all. You go to the Grammys, they're singing. You go to the Tony Awards, they singing and dancing. You go to the Source Awards, they singing, dancing, and shooting, okay? But there's no acting at the Oscars at all. Can I get a little acting? Just to be or not to be, or Morgan Freeman do a shampoo commercial, something, right? Like, the only acting you ever see at the Oscars, and when people act like they're not mad, they lost. Like, I remember one year when Halle Berry won the Oscar, Nicole Kidman was smiling so wide, she should have won an Emmy at the Oscars for her great performance. I was like, if you'd have done that in the movie, you would have won an Oscar, girl. But I love the movies. I love all the movies. I love the good ones and the bad ones, okay? You ever see a movie so bad that you question the actor's finances? Like, I saw this movie Boat Trip the other day, and I immediately sent Cuba Gooding a check for $80. Now, you figure, why don't some movies work? Well, because the studios make them too fast, okay? If you can't get a star, wait. Just wait. And they like to say, oh, there's 100 stars out tonight. No, there's not. There's only 4 real stars, and the rest are just popular people, okay? Like Clint Eastwood's a star. That's a star, okay? Clint Eastwood is a star, okay? All right? Tobey Maguire's just a boy in tights, okay? Okay? You can't get a star, wait, okay? If you want Russell Crowe, and all you can get is Colin Farrell, wait. It's not the same thing, okay? Alexander's not Gladiator, okay? Ja Rule's not Tupac. You got that? I love Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe, to me, is one of the greatest actors in the world, okay? I think all period pieces should star Russell Crowe. Everything. If you're doing a movie about the past, you bet to get Russell's ass, okay? I don't care if you're making a movie about 3 weeks ago, you need to get Russell Crowe. Because Russell will do the research about 3 weeks ago. He'll cut his hair like 3 weeks ago. He will walk like 3 weeks ago. He will talk like 3 weeks ago. And you'll close your eyes and you'll listen and go, that sounded like 3 weeks ago. If you can't get a star, wait, okay? If you want Denzel and all you can get is me, wait. Okay? Right? Denzel's a fine actor, okay? He would never make Pootie Tang. You got that? You know, after I made Pootie Tang, Cuba Gooding sent me a check for $80. Now, this year in Hollywood, some of the most controversial movies no one wanted to make, man. Some of the best movies of the year, nobody wanted to make, man. You know, one of my favorite movies this year was Fahrenheit 9/11. Fahrenheit 9/11 was beautiful. Michael Moore did not get nominated for an Oscar, okay? Right now, Michael Moore's going, I should have just made Super Size Me. I've done the research. Hey, you know, a lot of people like to bash Bush. I'm not going to bash Bush here tonight. I saw Fahrenheit 9/11. I think Bush is a genius. I think Bush did some things this year nobody in this room could do. Nobody in this room could pull off, okay? Because Bush basically reapplied for his job this year. Now, could you imagine applying for a job, and while you're applying for that job, there's a movie in every theater in the country that shows how much you suck at that job? It'd be hard to get hired, wouldn't it? So I watched Fahrenheit. I learned some stuff, man. Bush did some things you could never get away with at your job, man. Never, ever, ever. You know, when Bush got in the office, they had a surplus of money. Now there's like a $70 trillion deficit. Now, just imagine you worked at the Gap. You closing out your register, and there's $70 trillion short. The average person would get in trouble for something like that, right? Not Bush, no. Then he started a war. That's cool. Support the troops. He started a war. Now just imagine you worked at the Gap. You're 70 trillion behind on your register, and then you start a war with Banana Republic. Because you say they got toxic tank tops over there. You have the war, people are dying, 1,000 Gap employees are dead. That's right, bleeding all over the khakis. You finally take over Banana Republic and you find out they never made tank tops in the first place. Oh, yeah, man. Another movie nobody wanted to make this year, another movie nobody wanted to make was the big religious movie, Passion of the Christ, man. That's right, Passion of the Christ. I saw Passion of the Christ. Not that funny, really. Nobody wanted to make Passion of the Christ, man. Come on, they made 6 police academies and can't make one Passion of the Christ. They had no problem making Hellboy, but made Passion of the Christ. That means Jude Law could get in the club easier than Mel Gibson and Jesus. But at least here's one thing. You know, I can relate because, you know, a lot of Jewish people were offended by Passion of Christ. A lot of Jewish people were mad about Passion of Christ. And I could relate because I had to deal with a movie called Soul Plane this year. I will trade you Passion of the Christ for Soul Plane any day of the week, okay? See, at least they make movies for white people to enjoy. Real movies with plots, with actors, not rappers, with real names, like Catch Me If You Can, you know, like Saving Private Ryan. Black movies don't have real names. You get names like Barbershop. That's not a name, that's just a location. Barbershop, cookout, car wash. They've been making the same movie for 40 years. That's right, you know Laundromat's coming soon. And after that, check cashing place. All right, before we start the show, I just want to send some love out to all our troops fighting all over the world for freedom right now. That's right, let's send it out to the troops. Now, our first presenter is an Academy Award winner for her role in Monsters Ball and will next be seen in the eagerly awaited Catwoman 2. Give it up for Halle Berry.
77 years ago, the first Oscar was cast. It was originated with a sketch by the legendary art director Cedric Gibbons. Tonight, it is my honor to cast the first Oscar of the evening for achievement in art direction. Please join me in welcoming this year's wonderful nominees. In The Aviator, the colorful life of Howard Hughes was the inspiration for the art direction of Dante Ferretti and the set decoration of Francesca Lasciavo. In Finding Neverland, the story behind the creation of Peter Pan was portrayed in the art direction of Gemma Jackson and the set decoration of Trisha Edwards. The film Lemony Snicket's, a series of unfortunate events, has brought nothing but good fortune to art director Rick Heinrichs and set decorator Cheryl Karasik. The stage version of Andrew Lloyd Webber's The Phantom of the Opera was spirited onto the silver screen with the art direction of Anthony Pratt and the set decoration of Celia Bovac. In A Very Long Engagement, the art direction of Aline Bonetto swept us through a passionate story of love and loss set in France during World War I. And the Oscar goes to Dante Ferretti for The Aviator and for set decoration, Francesca Lasciavo.
This is the 8th nomination for Dante Ferretti and 6th for Francesca Lochavo. Tonight they win their first Academy Award.
Oh my God. Good evening. Thank you for this great honor tonight to be here. Thank you to the Academy. I would like to say thank you, first of all, to Martin Scorsese. Great, great, great director, which we love very, very much. And I want to say thank you to all the producers, to Graham King, Michael Mann, to Harvey Weston, and all the entire art department, which without them it was impossible for me to do this for us. Thank you.
Just I'd like to say this Oscar is for Melissa, Edoardo, and Giorgio.
This next actress has incredible range. She put on 25 pounds to play Bridget Jones, and this year she's putting on 80 pounds to play Deacon Jones. Please welcome Academy Award winner Renee Zellweger.
Five tremendously talented actors were nominated by their peers for their stunning performances in supporting roles. Here they are.
Alan Alda in The Aviator.
You want to go to war with me? It isn't me, Howard. It's the United States government. We just beat Germany and Japan. Who the hell are you?
Thomas Hayden Church in Sideways.
Please, I can't lose Christine, Miles. I can't. I know I did a bad thing, all right? And I know I'm a bad person. But you gotta help me. You have to help me, Miles. Okay? Tell me you help me. If I lose Christine, I am nothing.
Jamie Foxx in Collateral.
Hey, why don't you just take the cab? Take the cab? Yeah, you take it. I'll chill. I'll just chill. They don't even know who's driving these things half the time anyway, man. They never check or anything. Okay, so just take it. You, me.
You promise not to tell anybody, right?
Yeah, yeah,
right?
Yeah. Promise.
Morgan Freeman in $1 Million Baby.
Oh, man. I thought your name was Danger. Come on now. Oh, I see. Now I get to fight a retard and an old man. Oh!
Get a job, punk.
Clive Owen in Closer.
Why did you marry me?
I stopped seeing him. I wanted us to work.
Why did you tell me you wanted children?
Because I did.
And now you want children with him?
Yes.
But we're happy. Aren't we?
And the Oscar goes to Morgan Freeman, $1 Million Baby.
This is the first Academy Award and 4th nomination for Morgan Freeman. He was previously nominated for his supporting role in Street Smart and leading roles in Driving Miss Daisy and Shawshank Redemption.
Traveling to Murgatroyd.
I want to thank everybody and anybody who ever had anything at all to do with the making of this picture. But I especially want to thank Clint Eastwood for giving me the opportunity to work with him again and to work with Hilary Swank. This was a labor of love. And I thank the Academy. I thank you so very much.
We'll be back with Robin Williams, Kate Blanchett, Drew Barrymore, and the first of tonight's Oscar-nominated songs. Please welcome Robin Williams.
Animation means to breathe life into something. Experts use their magic to create the image of something that is vibrant and alive. Men know it better as Viagra. There's Clint going, not me. It is the opposite of Botox. Animated characters are becoming more and more expressive and animated and alive, unlike Joan Rivers. And many of the women in Beverly Hills who have that expression of constant surprise. And you say to them, they go, "What are these lumps under my eyes?" I go, "Those are your nipples, madam." Also, they tell me now that SpongeBob is gay. Square pants is not gay. Tight pants, maybe. SpongeBob hot pants, you go, girl. What about Donald Duck? Little sailor top, no pants. Hello? Chip and Dale. Two male monkeys sharing a trunk and coveting nuts. Hello? Bugs Bunny in more dresses than J. Edgar Hoover at Mardi Gras. Hello? What are we talking about? And also part of animation is voices. This year, Marty Scorsese plays a blowfish. It's really good. It's a good blowfish. You know, it's a great blowfish. You know? Bob De Niro was a shark. Not a big stretch. I was good. I'm good. Brando could have been Elmer Fudd. He would have been amazing.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
And Elmer Fudd could have been a streetcar named Desire. Stella. But the guy who I want to see do a voice, I want to see Jack Nicholson as Bugs Bunny going, "Hello, doctor. What's up? Nice piece of tail, Trixie." And now, ladies and gentlemen, the nominees of the cream of this year's crop of animated features are... The Incredible, Brad Bird.
I just need a pass job.
This is mega mesh, outmoded, very sturdy, and you've torn right through it. What have you been doing, Robert? Moonlighting hero work?
Must have happened a long time ago.
I see.
Shark Tale, Bill the Mash People.
Lenny, what are you doing?
What? I was just, picking you some flowers. Hey, Mom said it's not okay to hit. Ah!
Mom's not here. Da-dum. Da-dum.
Don't.
Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum,
Don't.
da-dum, da-dum.
Shrek 2, Andrew Adamson.
Mom. Dad. I'd like you to meet my husband, Shrek.
Well, it's easy to see where Fiona gets her good looks from.
And the Oscar goes to... Don't feel bad about the Pixar people. They have iPod stock. They're going to be okay. The Oscar goes to The Incredible Brad Bird.
This is the first Academy Award and second nomination tonight for Brad Bird.
Oh, thank you so much. I don't know what's more frightening, being watched by millions of people or the hundreds of people that are going to be annoyed with me tomorrow for not mentioning them tonight. I just want to thank the Holy Trinity of Pixar, my good friend John Lasseter, Ed Catmull, Steve Jobs for making the greatest studio on the face of the earth. And I want to thank my producer, John Walker, and Dick Cook, and the great Disney marketing team. You know, animation is about creating the illusion of life, and you can't create it if you don't have one. So I want to thank my wonderful crew for the creation, and I want to thank my mom, my dad, my wife, Liz, and my kids, Jack, Michael, and Nick, for giving me my life. I love you, and thank you. Incredibles 1, you know, I love The Incredibles. Next year they have the black version coming out. It's called The Ice. So this next presenter was so convincing as Katharine Hepburn that Sidney Poitier went to her house last night for dinner, okay? Please welcome Academy Award nominee Cate Blanchett.
The category is makeup. The artists who work their magic in this area use a variety of tools to create miniature works of art, sometimes to enhance an actor's features and sometimes to distort them, but always working in the service of the truth of the film. Here are the nominees for achievement in makeup this year. Valley O'Reilly and Bill Corso for Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Keith Vanderloon and Kristen Tinsley for The Passion of the Christ. Joe Allen and Manuel Garcia for The Sea Inside. And the Oscar goes to Valley O'Reilly and Bill Corso for Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events.
This is the first Oscar nomination for Valley O'Reilly and Bill Corso.
This is an extremely fortunate event. I'd like to thank the Academy for making my parents so proud, Colleen Atwood for being such a good friend and always hiring me and inspiring me, Brad Silberling, Mitch, Kathleen, Medusa, and Tanya for working so hard. And I'd like to formally apologize to all the actors for making them look so unfortunate. But it was worth it, wasn't it? Thank you.
Mr. Lemony Snicket, please don't write any more of these books. They're corrupting our youth. Brad Silberling, I'm sorry you did such a good job on this movie. DreamWorks, Paramount, Nickelodeon, Brad Silberling, why'd you have to do such a good job? And Jim Carrey, if you weren't so good, I wouldn't be standing up here, and I thank you for that. I shared this with you, Morgan, Valley, everybody. Thank you.
Welcome, the multi-talented Drew Barrymore.
Good evening. Our first nomination in the category Original Song is from The Chorus, a lovely and inspiring film about a group of unruly orphans and delinquents whose lives are changed through singing. The nominated song from the film is entitled Look to Your Path, and the English translation suggests that there is a golden light that always shines at the end of the path. It was written by Bruno Coulet and Christophe Baratier and will be sung in French this evening by the beautiful Beyoncé and the American Boy Choir.
Coming up, Scarlett Johansson, Tim Robbins, Leonardo DiCaprio, and the Oscars for Best Supporting Actress. And Outstanding Costume Design, when the 77th Annual Academy Awards continues here on ABC.
Is this? All right. Now, you often hear that Hollywood is out of touch with the rest of the country. So I decided to get out of Hollywood and talk to regular people about the movies. So I left the Kodak Theater and went down to the Magic Johnson Theater. Let's take a look. What was your favorite movie this year?
Alien versus Predator.
Alien versus Predator. Now, what was your favorite movie last year?
Last year, probably Saw.
Saw. What was your favorite movie this year?
I guess Chronicles of Riddick. It's pretty good.
Chronicles of Riddick. Yeah. So you're a Vin Diesel fan?
Of his movies, yeah.
Okay, now, what was your second favorite movie?
No second favorite movie this year.
So it just stops at Chronicles of Riddick?
Yeah, it just stops at Chronicles of Riddick.
Did you see Sideways?
No.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
Did you see Finding Neverland?
No.
No.
Did you see Finding Neverland?
No.
Did you see $1 Million Baby?
Didn't see that. No, I didn't.
Did you see $1 Million Baby?
No, I sure didn't. I can't lie, and I'm not going to front to these people out here and tell you, yeah, I've seen it.
Did you see Aviator?
No. No.
Did you see The Aviator?
Was that the dude that played in The Beach?
Yeah, the same guy from The Beach. Did you see White Chicks?
Oh, yeah, I love White Chicks. Yeah.
Did you see White Chicks?
Yes. I love that movie.
Did you see White Chicks?
Yeah, I seen that.
Okay.
That was good.
Did you see Sideways?
Yes.
Did you see Finding Neverland?
Yes, I did.
Did you see $1 Million Baby?
Oh, yes.
Did you see White Chicks?
Best movie of the year. They got robbed.
You just won the Oscar. I want you to give your acceptance speech.
Okay. Let me have it.
I want to thank my little sister, definitely my inspiration.
I want to thank my mom, my dad for bringing me fish. You are really up on me. Step back. All the fans, all the directors.
Harvey Weinstein?
Of course. I got so many people that I want to thank. My baby, of course. Little Damon. Hi, baby.
What about the baby's daddy?
Sweet, sweet.
Well, I want to thank my mom, my dad, my sisters.
Yeah. Those who thought I couldn't win one, kiss my black.
For those of you all just tuning in, I know some people are going, damn, Whoopi looks good. All right. Right now, I want you to please welcome Scarlett Johansson. Come on.
This year, I was asked to host the Scientific and Technical Awards. It was such an honor to meet the minds behind the machinery we use to create some of the most important moments in cinema. Our SciTech honors are bestowed at an exclusive dinner that's one of the nicest events on the Academy's calendar. Following this year's banquet, here are some of the awards that I was delighted to present. The Academy presented its Award of Merit for the engineering and development of the Luma camera crane and remote system for motion picture production.
If I may say, it's like having a new baby in the family. But this one was a 25-year period of gestation.
I am very, 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 very happy to get this Oscar.
The Luma crane is still used today on prestigious movies like Harry Potter, Troy, Girl with the Pearly Ring, and many, many others.
For the invention and continuing development of the Technocrane telescoping camera crane, the Academy's Award of Merit was presented to Horst Korbula.
About 20 years ago, I tried to be a filmmaker. And when I made this film, I made also a crane. And now I'm very glad that this crane has this Oscar. Thank you.
The coveted Gordon E. Sawyer Award was presented to Tak Miyagishima for a lifetime of achievement in the science and technology of film.
There must have been others more or just as deserving as I would be. But in saying that, I still accept this, so thank you all.
Most of the winners are here tonight, so let's give our congratulations to all of them.
He's suave and sophisticated. Please welcome Pierce Brosnan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please forgive the voice or lack of voice, but I'm delighted to be here tonight to acknowledge the work of a group of artists with a great sense of style. Please join me in welcoming this year's nominees for achievement in costume design. And here to assist me from The Incredibles, costume designer Edna Mode. You know, Edna, costume design is...
It's all right, darling. You can turn off the prompter. I know what I want to say. I am honored to present the evening's most prestigious award.
Well, I wouldn't say the most.
Prestigious award? Film is a marvelous medium for fashion display. Sometimes the models emote too much, but...
Models? We're actors.
I like your little performances, darling. Drama emphasizes the movement of the costumes. Well, what was that Nyla Dixon and Richard Taylor show last year? The three-part show with the gnomes.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes, Nyla's costumes came alive for me. I felt that this is what wearing clothes in Middle-earth must have been like.
The nominees are...
Yes, thank you, darling. The nominees are... For the sumptuous costumes of The Aviator, nominee Sandy Powell drew her inspiration from the larger-than-life story of Howard Hughes in the golden age of Hollywood. For Finding Neverland, nominee Alexandra Byrne recreated fashions from turn-of-the-century England when author J.M. Barrie wrote his timeless children's classic, Peter Pan. More children, I see. This time, in Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, the costumes of nominee Colleen Atwood perfectly captured the innocence of the Baudelaire family as they maneuvered their way around the devious Count Olaf and other ne'er-do-wells. For Ray, the costumes of nominee Sharon Davis followed the highs and lows of the 50-year career of legendary singer, songwriter, and performer Ray Charles. For Troy, nominee Bob Ringwood had the daunting task of providing costumes for the fierce armies of ancient Greece, the heroic men who led them, and the woman whose beauty could launch 1,000 ships.
And the Oscar goes to Sandy Powell for The Aviator.
This is the second Academy Award and 6th nomination for Sandy Powell.
There's so many people to thank, but most importantly, I'd like to thank my colleagues and partners in crime, Debbie Scott, Annie Hadley, John Cow, Lisa Padovani, and David Davenport. Also, a big, big thank you to Marty for being the inspiration for us all. Thank you.
That's 2 for The Aviator. So if Howard Hughes were here right now, he wouldn't shake hands with anybody. When our next presenter is not dazzling us with his acting ability, he's boring us to death with his politics. Please welcome Academy Award winner Tim Robbins. Come on.
Their roles were vastly different, yet each managed to steal our hearts. They are this year's outstanding nominees for Actress in a Supporting Role. The nominees are Kate Blanchett in The Aviator.
I take 7 showers a day to keep clean. Also because I'm what's so vulgarly referred to as outdoorsy. Well, I'm not outdoorsy, I'm athletic. I sweat. There it is. Now we both know the sordid truth. I sweat, and you're deaf. Aren't we a fine pair of misfits?
Laura Linney in Kinsey.
I've been reading up on gall wasps. I think I know why they appeal to you. They have great big wings, but they can't fly. They're incapable of getting from this hill to that hill unless it's close enough to walk, which means it's possible to retrace each generation's steps all the way back to the very beginning. The gall wasp Garden of Eden.
Virginia Madsen in Sideways.
I like to think about what was going on the year the grapes were growing, how the sun was shining, if it rained. I like to think about all the people who tended and picked the grapes. I like how wine continues to evolve, because a bottle of wine is actually alive.
Sophie Okonedo in Hotel Rwanda.
Oh, I cannot let these people today. I cannot let these people. Pusher, look forward to this place. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Natalie Portman in Closer.
How does it work? How do you do this to someone? Not good enough.
I fell in love with her, Alice.
Oh, as if you had no choice. There's a moment. There's always a moment. I can do this. I can give in to this, or I can resist it. And I don't know when your moment was, but I bet you there was one. I'm calling.
And the Oscar goes to Kate Blanchett in The Aviator.
This is the first Academy Award and second nomination for Cate Blanchett. She was previously nominated for her leading role in Elizabeth.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the Academy, who know Katharine Hepburn so well and are so intimately acquainted with her work. This is an indescribable surprise and honor. Thank you. I know you think it's cheesy, sweetheart, but I have to thank you, my husband, and Hilda Queally, and Robin Gardner, my Uber agents, and the wonderful Lisa Costello. Everyone involved in The Aviator. When you play someone as terrifyingly well known as Katharine Hepburn, it's a collaborative effort. You need as much help as you can get. And thank you, of course, to Miss Hepburn. The longevity of her career, I think, is inspiring to everyone. But most importantly, and on behalf of everyone I know in The Aviator, thank you to Martin Scorsese. I hope my son will marry your daughter. Thank you.
We'll be back with Orlando Bloom, Kirsten Dunst, and Mike Myers when the 77th Annual Academy Awards continues.
Of legends. I got to see Michael Jordan play basketball. I got to laugh with Rodney Dangerfield. I got to watch Muhammad Ali box, and I got to watch Johnny Carson host the Oscars.
Tonight's Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Johnny Carson.
Ladies and gentlemen, some of you looked a little quizzical when I walked out tonight, probably wondering what my association with the motion picture industry is. I probably should give you my credentials. I did make a movie in 1964 for MGM. It was a talkie.
I think Carson probably was the bridge between the old and the new. You can sort of define periods of time by who was hosting the Oscars.
This award show is being telecast right now to over 60 nations around the country, including around the world. You miss once in a while. But tonight, as you know, is the night that the winners all thank the little people they've stepped on all year. I am very thrilled to stand up here tonight and gaze out on this glorious throng of beautiful people. I see a lot of new faces, especially on the old faces.
Carson, new people were talking about his private life and wanted to let everybody know he was aware of it, and he could joke about it to a point.
My personal life has been exactly like this year's Academy Awards. It started off with terms of endearment. I thought I had the right stuff. It cost a lot to dress her, then came the big chill. In the past month, I've been begging for tender mercies. Now,
it's because I'm a pig. I did not get the nomination for Best Actress.
Now, come on, let's...
Yes.
Now,
yes. Jonathan,
yes.
You saw my performance in the Muppet movie?
Yes.
Well, can you stand there in your red tuxedo and honestly say that I am not Oscar material?
Oscar Mayer, maybe. For those of you who just joined us at home, this is day 164 of the Oscar telecast. America has not forgotten you, and President Carter is working on a plan for your release.
One of a kind. You can emulate them, you can try to duplicate them, but there's only one. There was only one Carson, and that was that.
From the millions of miles the film this industry has produced, a few films have been honored tonight. Words and images that will continue to light up the screen as long as there are people to watch and listen. Good night.
He's up for Best Actor Oscar tonight. Please welcome two-time Academy Award nominee, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Today's reality television craze owes its genesis to the documentary. For decades, documentary filmmakers have captured life's beauty and drama and stories that simply ask that we look a little closer at the world around us. This year, the 5 nominated films for Best Documentary Feature explore subjects ranging from sexual abuse to traditional and modern artistic expression to fast food. And now please join me in welcoming this year's outstanding nominees for Best Documentary Feature. Born into Brothels, Ross Kaufman and Zana Brisky. The Story of the Weeping Camel, Luigi Filorni and Bayambasaran Dava. Supersize Me, Morgan Spurlock. Tupac Resurrection, Lauren Lazen and Carolyn Ali. Twist of Fate, Kirby Dick and Eddie Schmidt. And the Oscar goes to Born into Brothels, Ross Kaufman and Zana Brisky.
This is the first Academy Award and nomination for Ross Kaufman and Zana Brisky.
Tom Hanks was right, this thing is heavy.
A little gold man, just what we always wanted. We thank you so much. This is an incredible, incredible honor. We thank the kids. They're watching in Calcutta. We thank you so much. We love you very much.
We'd like to thank HBO, the best place on the planet for documentaries. Think Film, doing an incredible job with this film. The Sundance Institute, Diane Wireman, we love you.
Geraldine White-Dreyfus, our executive producer, and Pamela Ball, our co-executive producer. Thank you so much.
And I'd like to thank Zana Brisky, this amazing woman right next to me. She's incredible.
Please welcome Kirsten Dunst and Orlando Bloom.
There is a long-standing belief in Hollywood that some of the finest films ever made were made in the editing room.
Though the tools of the trade are continually changing, nothing can ever replace the skill and judgment of the professional in charge of the process, the film editor.
And here are the Academy Award-worthy nominees for this year.
Thelma Schoonmaker for The Aviator. Jim Miller and Paul Rubel for Collateral. Matt Chessay for Finding Neverland. Joel Cox for $1 Million Baby. Paul Hirsch for Ray. And the Oscar goes to...
Thelma Schoonmaker for The Aviator.
This is the second Academy Award and 5th nomination for Thelma Schoonmaker. She won in this category for Raging Bull.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is really as much yours as it is mine, Marty. Not only because you helped me edit the movie, but because you think like an editor when you shoot. And you gave us an incredibly dazzling ride on this film and gave us a fantastic group of actors. I truly loved editing your footage and theirs. There are so many people to thank, I won't thank them, but I think they know who they are, the mixers, the wonderful visual effects people, but particularly my assistants, Scott Brock, Tom Foligno, and Aaron Crackle. They really got it up there on the screen. But it's really you, Marty. It's you. Thank you.
Welcome, the lovable Mike Myers.
The French scholar André Bazin said of the filmic arts, film tells lies at 24 frames per second. A contemporary, Jean-Luc Godard, said of the cinematic experience that it is both crime and magic. Personally, in Shrek 2, I like the part where he farts in the mud. From the movie Shrek 2, here to sing Accidentally in Love is the very popular singing group that wrote the song Counting Crows.
So she said, what's the problem, baby? What's the problem? I don't know. Well, maybe I'm in love. Think about it anytime I think about it. Can't stop thinking about it. How much longer will it take to cure this? Just to cure it, cause I can't ignore it. This love makes me want to turn around and face me, but I don't know nothing about love. Oh, come on, turn a little faster. Come on, the world will follow after. Come on, 'cause everybody's after love. So I said I'm a snowball running down into the spring that's coming. All this love melting under blue skies, belting out sunlight, shimmering love. Well, baby, I surrender to strawberry ice cream. Never ever render all this love. Well, I didn't mean to do it, but there's no escaping your love. Oh, these lines of lightning mean we're never alone, never alone. No, come on, jump a little higher. Come on, if you feel a little lighter. Come on, once upon a time in love. Accidentally 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 in love. I'm in love, 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 I'm in love. Accidentally, I'm in love, 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 I'm in love. Accidentally in love. I'm in love. I'm in love.
Just ahead, Adam Sandler, Natalie Portman, and a special Oscar presentation to a legendary director. Please welcome Adam Sandler and Academy Award winner Catherine Zeta-Jones.
All right. I guess there's some kind of mix-up. So I'm going to have to do this myself.
Adam, I can help you with the lines.
Okay, all right, Catherine Zeta-Jones, everybody.
I'll do it.
Okay, all right, we'll do what's written.
Okay.
Catherine, may I just say your dress looks incredibly sexy tonight.
Why, thank you, Adam. It's Versace.
Well, with you in it, it should be called Versexy.
As a little girl growing up in Wales, I saw many British TV series adapted into major works of art.
Cat Zeta, those high heels you're wearing are major works of art. They should be hanging in a museum. The Museum of Sexiness.
Okay, listen, Adam, no more funny business, or you're liable to get a spanking.
Sign me up, Mrs. Douglas.
You know what? You're on your own now, okay?
Okay, all right. Thank you, Rock. I love you. Okay. A screenplay is either an original work or an adaptation of some other material. Both are incredibly challenging to writers. The Oscar for the best screenplay adapted from another source will go to one of these nominees.
Richard Linklater, Julie Delpy, Ethan Hawke, and Kim Krizan for Before Sunset, based on characters created by Richard Linklater and Kim Krizan for the film Before Sunrise. David McGee for Finding Neverland, based on the play The Man Who Was Peter Pan by Alan Mead. Paul Haggis for $1 Million Baby, based on stories from Rope Burns by FX Tool. Jose Rivera for The Motorcycle Diaries, based on the book Notas de Viaje by Ernesto Guevara and Con el Che por America Latina by Alberto Granado. Alexander Payne and Jim Taylor for Sideways, based on the novel Sideways by Rex Pickett.
Right. And the Oscar goes to Alexander Payne and Jim Taylor for Sideways.
This is the first Academy Award for Alexander Payne and Jim Taylor. Alexander Payne is also nominated tonight for directing Sideways.
Hi, good evening. We thank the Academy. We salute our fellow nominees. And we thank Rex Pickett, on whose novel the screenplay was based, and our wonderful producer, Michael London. Jim?
We've been lucky enough to be writing partners for 15 years, and since the beginning, we've had a great pair of agents, David Loveliner.
And David Lunner.
And more recently, a great pair of wives, the stunning and talented Tamara Jenkins.
Equally stunning and talented Sandra Oh.
And my mother taught me to write, and she died before she could see any of this, so this is for you, Mom.
Also, real quick, we love Fox Searchlight for letting us make a film with complete creative freedom. And last but not least, very quickly, I know I'm going to wrap up, I want to share my side of this award with the cast and crew of the film because we had a lot of fun. See you later.
From The Day After Tomorrow and House of Flying Daggers, please welcome Jake Gyllenhaal and ZZ Yang.
Miracles are still being made in motion pictures.
If there is something impossible to be done in a movie, the producer turns to a team of visual effects people. And here are this year's visual effects wizards. For Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Roger Guyette, Tim Burke, John Richardson, and Bill George. For I, Robot, John Nelson, Andrew R. Jones, Eric Nash, and Joe Leterrier.
You are experiencing a car accident. The hell I am!
For Spider-Man 2, John Dykstra, Scott Stockdike, Anthony LaMolinara, and John Frazier.
And the Oscar goes to
John Dykstra, Scott Stockdike, Anthony LaMolinara for Spider-Man 2, John Frazier.
This is the first Academy Award for Scott Stockdike, Anthony LaMolinara, and John Frazier. John Dykstra takes home his second Oscar.
I love my job. What an honor to be singled out in a year with so much terrific work. Boy, am I glad there wasn't a 4th episode of Lord of the Rings. What a joy to work and share this award with so many talented people. Our director, Sam Raimi, Scott, Anthony, John, all of the artists, technicians, and producers who collaborated on the effects for this picture. We'd like to thank our families, Hi Cass, Chloe, Mom. We'd like to thank Sony Pictures for all your support. Thank you, Academy. Thank you, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the President of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, Mr. Frank Pearson.
On this Oscar Sunday, in this tabernacle of talent, my sermon is going to be brief. We dedicate the 77th Academy Award services to our men and women in the armed services, wherever they serve, with our gratitude forever for the sacrifices that they have made in serving our country. We want you all to know that we have not forgotten you, and we hope that wherever you are, if you have the time to see a movie, that our film brings you back home again for an hour or so, and our prayers for your swift and safe return. "30 years ago, a brilliant young director cast a brilliant young actor to play the lead in my screenplay for Dog Day Afternoon. And my gratitude and admiration for the actor and for that director has remained absolutely unabated. Please join me in welcoming that Oscar-winning actor, Al Pacino.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello. I'm here to present the honorary Oscar to Sidney Lumet, who has been directing movies for almost 50 years. It's not the years being honored, it's the quality. And isn't quality the measure of an artist? From 12 Angry Men, to The Pawn Broker, to Dog Day Afternoon, and all the years since and in between, a Sidney Lumet movie has a signature, a stamp of individuality, a point of view, a feeling. John Ford, Alfred Hitchcock, Robert Altman, they have a signature, a character, if you will, that make you want to buy a ticket, see their movies.